Hey everybody, welcome back to What I've Seen Lately. This is day 5, I believe. Yeah, day 5. And this one is something that I've been uh, very curious to see for a while, especially seeing his follow-up work after his debut. That film being Whiplash, which was written and directed by Damien Chazelle, starring Miles Teller as a drummer who is trying to, make a career of himself and earn some kind of respect or some kind of um, some recognition for his some validation basically for his career choices. And J.K. Simmons, who plays Fletcher, Mr. Fletcher, who was a teacher at his college, uh, who's a perfectionist. Initially it seems like he's a bit of a perfectionist, um, and um, he gets put into J.K. Simmons' class when J.K. Simmons sees potential in him. And what unravels throughout the film is about really a showcasing and a birth of sorts when addressing Miles Teller's character of many toxic traits, that being of addiction, obedience, ego, narcissism, especially narcissism, and of obsession within really about one's artistic endeavors and their relationship to it. For Miles Teller's case, it's like a very addictive like thing, especially when placed in J.K. Simmons' class. He's so wanting of his approval. He's so wanting to please others rather than looking after himself. And as the film presents itself, which my only real issue with it is that the tempo of it, as you can tell, my phrasing there, I think can be much too telling at times. This exaggerative quality that the film presents, because it's a very exaggerative film, to the point where it really is a comedy, and it's a comedy really disguised as a horror film, because I don't necessarily see this as a drama, because for drama, there's a certain kind of aura that is placed. With this, it very much plays more so like a horror film when you consider the relationship between Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons and the way they're representing that relationship. It's done through a manner that lends itself to laughter and through great tension, especially when J.K. Simmons comes on screen. He is the performance that he puts on is the literal definition of a wrecking ball. He is putting on such a brilliantly intimidating and despicable performance. The way I would equate it to is kind of in some ways like Cate Blanchett in Tar, most recently, where he's so self-absorbed. His character is a completely self-absorbed. And anybody who thinks that his character is just, he's an understandable character, or he's like, because I could see people, and to a certain measure the film kind of does this, where the film's almost like, well, here's his justification for why he does the things that he does and why he behaves the way he does, even though there are consequences, to doing such a thing. Like, I would, if you do have sympathy for his character, then I would say that you have there's something wrong with you, because his character is meant to be someone that you absolutely despise. He's basically, in many ways, a representation of like the devil when you consider Miles Teller's psychological endeavor. Where he has a fatherly figure, in that with his real father, and he's a very supportive, if not, he's more of a realist. He's not really placing his career choices first. He's considering more about making sure his son is safe and all that stuff. Whereas J.K. Simmons, he's all about his career and nothing more. So you have someone who represents that of an angel like figure, someone who's there to hug him and support him and take care of him. Where J.K. Simmons is someone who's there to pester him and to push him to where he becomes obedient, to where he is a servant. And the ending of the film completely represents that, where Miles Teller goes on stage and he's doing his own thing, and then slowly but surely he gets groomed back like literally as the visual of the hands of J.K. Simmons telling him to go up and up and up. It is literally almost a thread, like him controlling him like a puppet. It's just back into his, back into his obedient state. Um, so I think that just the exaggeration of it, the representation of it, the brilliant performance being put on by J.K. Simmons, I think that you get something that is a little too knowing for my taste, but still highly engaging, properly funny, and and again, just like it was really tense. I was like, I was every time that J.K. Simmons just popped on screen, I was just I was just elated. I was just having such a good time because I think even J.K. Simmons doing the performance knows that he has to be in some respects funny, because if he was to take this any other way, it would come off it would have a certain color to it that wouldn't match the tone that the film is representing. So there is a comedic level to his performance that is intended, and the whole film in and of itself has that quality to it too. It's a very exaggerated representation of, making a comment on the industry, and then while at the same time about how one gets into certain develops a certain persona and develops certain traits. Like it's a very very um, it's a very telling film about emotional states and how one can twist them, and how one can become something much more evil, really, and more arrogant, because all these traits, they create a blinding form of confidence, and there's an immense toxicity that grows from within because of these traits becoming inside you, and the film, I believe, shows that. And it's no surprise to me that when I was watching it, I was like this, is the first thing that I was struck by was, oh, it's by Blumhouse. And then as the film moved on, I was like, oh, now I get more why Blumhouse, why Jason Blum and company decided to carry themselves onto this, because I was like, yeah, it plays so much like a horror film. So I'm kind of just going on a redundance now, but yeah, I think that Whiplash was just really tense, really in some ways terrifying, and in many respects funny, and intentionally funny, and exaggerative to where it feels at times a little too knowing, but in many respects completely warranted, and just fun. I just had a really fun time watching it. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on Whiplash. I thought it was very good, and I think that the style balance itself out with a sufficient level of substance. So it's not just all style and less substance, because that's what Babylon was. This has like a nice balance in between. So, but those are my thoughts on Whiplash. You guys let me know your thoughts on Whiplash if you guys have seen it. Let me know in the comment section below how you guys felt about the film. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to get some lunch now because I'm a little lightheaded, so excuse me if I just seem a little out of it. But I'm going to get some food now. So, yeah. So, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for the next review.